consistent, coherent, and persistent service to Mother Uganda. Now, that somebody receives the medal and there's no food at home, sorry, did you hear of Emyoga? Did you hear of Entandikwa? Did you hear of Onabagagawale? What did you do with it? Did you hear of the youth fund? Did you hear of the women's fund? What happened? This is the only government I've known that gives the free money. And for that reason, we have become lame. We are only expecting money to be coming from government. We are contributing nothing. And this is where my quarrel is. No wonder today, young people are busy praying for their parents to die so they can sell the properties they have found. The Uganda culture I grew in, and I'm sure here Dr. Wanga you bear me witness, a Muganda man made things for his children. It meant the children are also going to add on this property for their children. The current generation are busy selling them before even the bones have dried, the flesh has dried off the bones. Why? We have lost the cultural values. You are talking about women emancipation, men are not being respected. How can anyone respect a man that pregnates a woman and runs away? How can anyone respect a man that leaves home, children have not been provided for, and he's saying tontawanya? Because a man is a value to his family, he is the head, he is the Minister of Finance. And you're complaining about women emancipation? Wait a minute. Read the Bible. Women were created as helpers, not the principal. But if you have decided to see the ground in terms of your responsibilities as head of the family, so be it, you will be not respected. Where are the men in the lives of their children? You go to any school on a meeting day, 90% are women. Did these women pregnant themselves? How did they get these children? And you are complaining? No. Yes, the boy child has been neglected, but the first level of neglect is at family level. Socialization starts with the parents. I was not made by school. The first level was my father. A man does this, a man must do this. That's the training you get as a child. Today, where are the men to train their children, their sons? No wonder now they are saying, Njagala mukazi akoze campus. Stupid. Since when? And you are blaming government for that?
Interesting. Madam Arasisi, you have heard from the people of Uganda, especially the lady who raised that concern. Neocolonialism, actually emancipation, has led and paved the way for neocolonialism, especially in Africa. We are losing the African culture, we are losing the African taste because of this emancipation. But also in the same way, I would love to read another comment from one of the listeners. He's saying one of the 10-point programs of the current government was to fight for long-term leader. Why is the president still in power with that age? And he says he's Kuchana Pole from Bodaka.
I think he misread it.
Okay, Mr. Pole from Bodaka.
Bochana.
Let me start with that. According to my understanding, if I know English very well, one of the reasons why we are going to celebrate Tarehe Sita, the reasons behind these great men and women who decided to liberate our country was democracy. Democracy. What is democracy? Is the right of the people for the people and
For the people.
and for the people.
By, of, and for the people.
By, of, and for the people. That is what it means. And we still stand by it. So, Mr. Mr. Pole from Buchana. It is not the president who decides. The president, the UPDF, the member of parliament, whoever, every leader, it is not about them. It is about the Ugandan people. If the Ugandans and the majority, if they say let it be, so shall it be. It is Uganda who determines it. I have not seen where the president says this must be done without consulting and asking the people of Uganda. It's actually the people of Uganda who ask him. And then he says, remember when we had the challenge of this homosexuality in parliament, you know? The president kept on consulting, asking them. He kept on engaging until finally when he was there and asked, have you people agreed? You have to be ready for the consequences. And the majority said yes. Right? And so there it was, and here we are. So, Mr. Pole, this is what Uganda stands for. It is the majority of Ugandans who decide, who determine that the president is, or any other leader of our country, what they want anything to be done. So that's if they say this in the constitution, they amend it. What you
constitution amendment?
Yeah, to change any law,
it's Article 262.
Any article. Yeah, if the majority say we need to revisit it, and you know, as long as it is working for Uganda. So that is a decision of Uganda, and I won't delay so much on it. So the president is here because Uganda wants him to be there, and if they say no, I don't think he can. I highly doubt, because we respect the rights and Uganda and democracy. Women emancipation, neocolonialism. What I understand about women liberation movement, the women emancipation, largely the reason behind all this women thing was, one, for a unifying goal of social equality. Women and men, old, young, whoever, as long as you're a human being, Ubuntu, we are equal. We are all answerable. We are all having the same brains, the same understanding, the same strength. Okay? The same. We are all the same. There's no difference apart from the biological setup.
Okay.
That's what differentiates us. Then, of course, the sexuality, then the reproductive rights being central concern to the liberation movement. And with much of the movement energy being focused on passing the equal rights amendment. So the women emancipation is focused at empowering women because of history. Historically, we were not privileged enough into leadership, in education. I know in my community where I grew up from, you could see a boy favored much more than a girl. Well, as they grow up, as they are into teenage years, as they grow up, you see a family bending into having this girl getting married. And while the boy is going much more on, and they really struggle to make sure the boy is empowered economically, politically, but the women don't. So it's emancipation is aimed at empowering, is aimed at, you know, to bring, there shouldn't be any weak end as far as we are concerned, community as Uganda is concerned.
Thank you.
Everyone must be given, they must be empowered to give their best to do their best.
Thank you so much.
That's how I understand it.
Thank you so much, Madam LCC. Ambassador Kambula, if I remember pretty well, it was around mid-2023, like in July there, when Honorable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Honorable Norbert Mao, said that the Justice Ministry was preparing then for a new transitional justice bill to ensure that war victims are adequately compensated and rehabilitated. We are talking about 14,667 claimants who partially paid so much and contributed much during the Liberation War. We are talking about 43 years down the road, and these people are still not satisfied. Have we in any way paid the price? Have we in any way rewarded them?
You know, it's very unfortunate that in this country, the presidential pledges and the commitments that really deserve those who paved way for us, for their perseverance, the courage, the tenacity, the sacrifice these men and women gave to us. It is unfortunate, and I request the government of Uganda to really pay these people, to pay the families, because it is not that everybody fought, no, but it's those, the few ones that really understood what Uganda deserved. And today we are saying we have peace and security, but who are those that paved that door, that sacrificed themselves to go behind the president and enter the bush? I know Kale Kaihura was a student. He had to leave Makerere to go join the bush. I have several of my friends from NRM, their fathers really sacrificed a lot. But some of their children even, you know, have nowhere to sleep. And I think this message goes to the president, because we have to fulfill our pledges, our the price that these people, we are in these offices because of them. And so a president comfortable in State House when these people are not paid, to me, I think it is a challenge to the president, and that those that are frustrating him need to be arrested. This is a crime. It's a crime.
Are you in any way saying that we have betrayed those people who gave out their cows and gardens to the liberators during the struggle?
It is part of the International Treaty of Wars that we got to really recover and uplift those commitments. It is not just Constitution of Uganda. The Geneva Convention provides it around 26 articles there. They are all on that we got to go back and recover those communities. And I think as a general, Mr. Museveni, His Excellency is actually a professor under these fields. He understands these commitments, but he's frustrated by the same people who actually did not know what the war costed. The comfort of our young people who are getting from Makerere, now you had to force Mr. Museveni to chase that they don't qualify. And now he's under hostage to the extent that the laws that are manufactured are actually to frustrate those individuals who sacrifice. But let me expand it more further.
In seconds, time is not on our side, Ambassador.
But
if
this is very important for defense,
yes,
because we have a general here.
If you can use a few minutes.
We are celebrating defense, the defense of our country, and in the minds of men in uniform, to be loved by Ugandans. In those days, my brother, this is very important. To see a man in uniform, you had to really run to the toilet. If not, you have to throw yourself in a pit latrine. Our men in uniform, to lead by example. Today, men in uniform are now, leading regional peace and stability. And I think African Union need to copy a leaf from the UPDF to expand our Africa continental security and defense mechanism, to see that now we develop a mechanism of a continental defense mechanism to make sure that now, beyond our small bedrooms we are protecting, the sitting room need to be protected, and the faces, because now we are now talking about biological weapons, we are talking about intercontinental ballistic systems. North Korea is really a threat to us and the West. But what is the readiness of our defense mechanism when we are concentrating on Uganda protecting her sitting room, bedroom, Kenya is bedroom, the other? So that is not defense. And General, I think this time I have to challenge the government of Uganda and UPDF to make sure that at least 90% of our investments go to local innovation, to make our own guns, our own technology, our own innovations, so that now these idiots must make sure they know that Africa is thinking, not having generals who are not thinking. A general must think, must develop innovations. must make sure that help the country to manufacture their own medicine, their own aerospace technology. Right now, our internet is down. What is the role of the UPDF to make their own space technology so that we have own satellite to make this www.com? Why can't we have www.africa? You know, that's where generals must focus, not generals who are drinking, ballooning the stomachs, but now we need a healthy population of generals who are thinking economically, develop our own infrastructure and science and technology, so that we guarantee peace and security, not for Uganda, but now to the continental defense system.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Kambula. And as I come to you, Dr. Luanga, on divided we fall, united we stand. We have started to be divided along tribal lines, political affiliations and ideologies that we subscribe to, and we do forget where we come from, because those are some of the main concerns that took some of the liberators back to the bush. Have we become the people like the people of Israel, where they reached the promised land and forgot everything they had? As you prepare to answer on that, allow me go back in a few seconds to General Koleje on the same issue that I put to Milton Kambula. Why has it taken you 43 years down the road to compensate about 14,667? Yet you took their animals and gardens.
First of all, to the best of my knowledge, the people who gave us cows from 81 to 86 were paid. Cows and food.
14,000.
I'm coming. Now you have the cases of the people in northern Uganda whose cows were not taken by UPDF NRA, NRA UPDF, but eaten by rebels of NRA. These are the ones they are talking about. So this is the double jeopardy. You had a population mobilized to fight you. By the beginning of NRA war was voluntary. People took their sons and daughters to Atanga sub-county headquarters to give an area commander called Omona their children to fight these Banyarwanda that had taken over their government. All right? Two, I have a witness here. He hasn't given him permission. He's now a Major General. He told him when he saw the people who had chased them were very short, he said, these children can chase us? No, we must fight them. So the beginning of the war in 1986, 23rd of August, was purely based on tribal feelings, number one. Number two, refusing to accept that they had lost the government, which they had been benefiting from. Because at that time, if you're a relative of a general, you are entitled to uniform, you are entitled to food, you have everything the army was providing. My family would be enjoying now. Now, so the cows you are talking about are not the bush time cows. These are cows, these are people who lost cows in the war after 86.
All right.
So that's why I'm calling it double jeopardy, that yes, you are being fought. Indeed, you would meet some of these people and ask, I will never forget an incident where my escort asked actually women that where are the rebels, and the woman said, said the Pangayo. And the soldier asked, how far is Pangayo from here? And yet Pangayo means I don't know. The war against UPA, you would ask people, you would ask them where the rebels are, and this is Honorable Secretary is here, he has said it time and again. They would be among the people when we were asking them. And the fellow says, Mamangajen, I don't know. You turn your back, the very people you ask will be shooting you. If it was not the politicized NRA, now UPDF, you can be sure there would have been crimes committed. Even those cows they are talking about, we would have been the ones taking them.
All right.
Now, there are cases, however, this is why you cannot leave out. There are cases, particularly in eastern Uganda, where some of our commanders actually looted the cows. Those who go to know were punished. Others, some people have covered them. But that said and heard, still they will be compensated, or compensation has begun. The difference, and I want to tell you this, they have engaged lawyers who have inflated Ambassador was talking about corruption. They have inflated the demands. Somebody that had maybe 20 cows will tell you, I lost 200. And there is a thinking in this country that the government is a third party. Afterwards, the government is going to pay. So you overcharge or you inflate, forgetting the money being paid is actually yours.
Thank you so much, General Koleje. Allow me get back to you, Dr. Luanga.
Yes, please.
We have eaten, arid, and forgotten where we came from. The same mistakes, the same problems, the same challenges that took the liberators to the bush have started to remanifest.
Thanks very much for bringing that situation on the table. But wherever we are discussing civil-military relations, there are two sides. There is the positive side and there is the negative side. And we have given this time to diagnose the positive side at the expense of the negative side, where you may say that they haven't learned and they haven't forgotten. So the negative side, as you are trying to put it, if you ask any opinion leader, any political party, any whatsoever, reform number one they are putting up, that wherever we are having electoral exercises, the military is as if it is a part of it. And all the demands they are putting up, that we wanted to see that attire away from our electoral processes. Enforce the police to do it. We shall be very much comfortable with it. Of course, the voters whom they liberated and their respective political parties are bringing it as a package of reform. We may wonder why it is taking long to be implemented. Since we are with the general will maybe explain. Then at the same time also, as our politics is expanding, and now we have shifted from one party to multi-party, the public is starting to see that the military seems to favor the ruling party at the expense of UPC, at the expense of DP, at the expense of CP. And if that one continues like that, the image of the army, which is a liberator, gets soiled a bit. Okay? Then at the same time also, we are seeing the military is trying to take a lot of space, even in foreign relations. At times they can issue a statement, and the fountain of honor has to come in to moderate it. I think you remember that statement where we were shaping up and we told Kenya that Kenya and you are Nairobi. Anytime we want to do something, we can do it.
You will not attribute an individual statement to the army.
Okay.
Correction.
I'm sorry about it.
Yes, that was an individual statement.
I'm sorry about it.
If I told you, he made it anyway because it was on tweet.
Okay. I'm sorry about it. But
actually, allow me use doctor.
Okay.
Give you information.
Yes.
If a statement is not made by the CDF
Yes.
or the spokesperson,
Yes.
it's not the official position.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the unofficial position is the one
Even
which
when it's
caused
coming from the same family.
a lot of concern.
I think, Doctor, this is very, very critical what the General is talking about.
Yes.
MK speaking on behalf of the army must stop.
Yes.
And I think to this case is that we need to see punishments
Yes.
as per the court martial, because the court martial has more than 160 articles in that manages their affairs.
Yes.
So MK must stop and must always follow the chain of command as
Yes.
per their doctrine of the army.
Yes.
Okay, gentlemen, our time is not on our
Then
side.
finally, let me say this.
As your last comment,
Yes,
Doctor.
my last comment is the new fight now this government is facing is land grabbing. And whenever there is land grabbing, God forbid, Sobi has died into it. Anybody in uniform who comes near it, they may think that he has a vested interest in the land to be grabbed, always trying to normalize things. And good enough, our RCC also reported here that she has delayed because of the issue to do with the land grabbing. As the population is increasing, the 10 program which has been expanded to 15 must coin something which helps us to live off the land. And we survive and we project Uganda. UPC had that thinking that everything is not on land. We must develop other sectors.
Thank you, Doctor. Your last remark?
My last remark, the gentleman from who called and was emphasizing that shelter is not there, education is difficult, food is unavailable. I answer your prayer that the government has to intervene minus delay in school fees structure of senior one. Okay. I cannot be paying for a senior one over 2 million shillings. I'm an educationist by profession. I don't know what education at that level which can consume 2 million a term.
Thank you, Doctor. Milton Kambula, your last remark?
For me, it's just to call upon Ugandans to love the country.
As you give us your last remark, allow me also read the last comment. Someone says, Bizemu, those who our liberators fought for in the bush have started to reappear. What brings them back? And yet we have a strong government, able leaders, a great national army, and also a great party. But Bizemu. Kambula, last remark.
You know, it's the quality of the population. As of, you know, we must unlock education to give us a new population. That's quality, that has values, but that can really pay the taxes that the government will use to facilitate public service. So my last remarks will be like, yes, we have people who are cutting down trees. Right now we have 30% affected on our land, the last 38 years. So the fighters, the liberators, the Tarehe Sita vision should now enforce these people who are encroaching on our environment, the wetlands, so that those that died did not die for Werere. You know, poverty levels have also reduced, I thank the government, because that was really the prayer for our liberators. But now as the population is increasing, and the quality and production and the outcomes of such a population is not really positive to building a self-sustaining economy. It means in just the next 4-5 years, this number will increase, the poverty levels. Lastly is for social cohesion and peace, of course. It's not always the gun that will bring us the peace that we are talking about, but how are our kings interacting together? How are our religious leaders and all the faith traditions interacting together? And then all the economy, the people managing our businesses, our economy, how are we building indigenous Ugandans to become billionaires by using local available resources? Because poverty will not go if we continue depending on imports. We got to really on rising these circles, these pages to sell something, to buy something. Right. But when you look in markets, what happens really being covered by coups all over. I really seek that the army should strain themselves into misconduct that would end some of our leaders into capturing power, civilians and the army going into coups that we don't want. Right now we have a strong foundation. It's all about discipline and enough that indeed we will guarantee a regional peace but also internal peace.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Ambassador Kambula Milton. I may cross to you, Madam RCC. Women among the liberators in the Bush War, like Joy Milembe, General Pliskovia Naroiso, and many others who joined later, I still believe that they represented thousands and thousands of women. But as a woman today represented in government, but also representing women in studios today, what is your final remark as we celebrate 43 years of the Resita, UPDF, NRA?
To congratulate women, every woman. at every level, at the village, all the way up on top to the Vice President. I congratulate them, and especially I want to thank those who are no longer with us, those who are not celebrating with us, those who are not reaping their seed, what they planted, what they started. We pray for them, and we are proud of them, for while their voices are silent, ours are audible enough. While their strength are no longer active, ours, we are going stronger every single day. We thank them, and I want to thank the women who believe in themselves, that to be who you are, you don't have anyone to prove. You don't have to prove anyone with your strength, with your words, what it is with your brains, it is with your hard work, it is with your commitment, it is with dwelling on the foundations of these people that they gave us. So it gives me pleasure, and I thank God and the president, the UPDF, the first lady, everyone who have set an example to all of us to emulate. And we thank, it has to be a woman out there who determines who we are. So I congratulate them. And I want to encourage every woman under the sound of my voice, step up, believe in yourself. There is nothing which can be holding you down. You have all that it takes, and the government is with you, okay? What we have to do is, let us respect the other genders, and let us respect every Ugandan. Let us honor, and let us celebrate each other's diversity, and let us all build a country we need and we deserve.
All right.
It is in your hands. It is you, wherever you are. You have the authority wherever you are. You can be something. You can do something. You can change the world. Let's change our families.
Okay.
Let us put emphasis. Let's care about those we put in this world, to make sure what these people left is handed down to the ones we have in the household, not leaving them, not trying to compare each other, not trying to, desperate, disregarding what you have gone through. You don't need your children to go through either. So let us stand and let us embrace what our president, our leaders, the UPDF, the Uganda police, everything is in place. Our leaders are in place, and let us be something that God gave us, and what He believes we can achieve. Don't wait until you die and you reach in heaven and you actually realize you never lived at all.
Thank you.
So congratulations, UPDF, and we pray to God to continue strengthening our country and enabling us, so that out of one there is 1,000, and so every Ugandan to build on what you have
Thank you,
given
Madam
us.
RCC.
Congratulations.
Brigadier General of Lexicology, Halapas and Thamit, all celebrating people's struggle for unity and security and peace.
In any struggle, whether armed, whether economic, the people are the primary, the subject and the object. We have to celebrate the people's struggle, because indeed sacrifices were made. The bottom line, you and I that are living, what are we paying those that pay the ultimate price? When you are diverting national resources, when you are grabbing government resources, are you actually honoring the dead, or you are crucifying them the more? Lastly, I stay awake so that you, Ugandan, sleep and plan for your future. Are you doing it? It makes me sad that I spend sleepless nights, and in the morning you are discussing things that are not going to change your well-being. Lastly, PDM has come around. If you missed on Myoga, missed on Women Fund, Youth Fund, this is the time. PDM is not for you and I who are earning incomes. It's for the least in this country. The bottom line, little tega, enkuba etonya. If it rains and you have not put anything on your drum, you want to harvest the water. And you will not blame the water for failing, I mean the rain, for you failing to harvest it. This is the time. Expecting things from government that it will keep on giving money, let's change that thinking. And then, the leaders, like I said, we have very many. What is your contribution to your people? You, the LC chairman, you, the GISO, you, the MP. Lastly, Mr. Moderator, I know politicking is going to start. Ugandans, you are only free the day you cast your vote. After you have cast your vote, your future is going to be determined by this person you have elected. Is he worth your future? God bless you, guys.
God bless you too, General, and it was a privilege having you, General Felix Kweleje, UPDF and Modiva spokesperson on this very edition of UBC Ground Zero. Thank you, Keita Kagabi Doreen, Deputy RCC Kampala Central. And it was a privilege also having Dr. Christopher Rwanga, Head of Research, Ideology and Documentation, coming from UPC. And also we had the privilege and honor to have Kampala Milton, a Peace Service Ambassador, coming from Global Peace Foundation. We've been discussing celebrating people's struggle for unity, security, and peace, which is the theme for Talesita this year, 2024, as they celebrate 43 years since 1981. Ampaire Amon Butega is my name. Many programs coming your way on UBC Butebo, on UBC West Nile, and on Magic 100 FM, and on UBC Red. George Ngobi is coming your way with On the Journey. Keep it UBC, and we shall keep it a promise, inspiring you, the people of Uganda. Many thanks to the team that I worked with to bring you this program. The repeat of this program is always on Sunday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. But you can always get it on YouTube. You just put UBC Ground Zero and you'll be part, and you have this program on your end. Ampaida Monoptega is my name. Until next time, same station. For God and my country, allow me to sign out.
Round Zero Season 2